I'm gonna call this meeting to order.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am.
Four, 8 minutes after 4 o'clock on October the 16th. And this is a special meeting for just one reason, and that is to approve spending to fix the Crockett pump lifts at the Crockett lift station. The pump has went out. Okay, so I have to start with the roll call, and I think we need to change this around a little bit. Looks like Terry's the mayor pro tem.
One. You just have
Place
place
one.
one, Terry.
Terry Warner, we see
Here.
that she's on. There she
Here.
is. And Matthew McGovern,
Here.
Laura
Here.
Sanchez Feller, Mike McLeod,
Here.
and Sam Houston Clinton.
Here.
Here you have to have your picture on.
I think we can forego the pledges, and is that okay with
That's
everybody?
fine.
Yeah.
And everything? Okay, so both Pete and our engineer Thomas Turk said that if we needed them, we could go ahead and call them if you have questions of them. So what has happened, it appears that last May when the pump broke and it was being fixed, they used an old pump and the broken pump to fix the pump so we had one pump that was working. Okay, so June 10th is when Pete sent a invoice thing, what do you call it, to tell us this is how much a new pump's gonna cost from this one company. That's the only quote that we got. We like this company pretty well. And so that was $17,256.
In June.
And that was in June.
So
Now-
the damage was May of this year?
Yes, and so that was earlier this year. Unfortunately, Jared and I did not follow through on this, and we really didn't remember that, hey, we're only working on one pump. And in fact, when this happened, we were like, well, don't we have a second pump? We don't. Well, we didn't have a second pump, because what happened last May is they used we robbed one pump to fix the other one, so we were running with just one pump. So
Now
now,
we need to fix the other.
so now we have no pump. That's where we're at. That's why I'm calling this
Also, the
meeting.
one that we patched up failed.
Yes,
Correct.
How much
Can
did
we,
we,
Correct.
can we use our grant money for that?
no, this is not part of the grant.
Real quick, I'm sorry, I'll wait if you need to, like, if I'm out of
No, go ahead.
sequence, but, where does what is the grant doing and how does that relate to this?
Okay, so I had given that packet that Thomas Turk had sent to us, and I was looking for it just before we started, and I didn't find where I
Is it-
filed it.
I think it's posted, the one that you presented.
Oh, yeah, it's posted online.
Posted online. Mhm.
And so it's specifically for the wastewater treatment plant. About half of it was for fencing. And it's for stuff out at the wastewater treatment plant. It had something to do with this, and we can get him online. But it wasn't for normal maintenance, and this is considered
We
normal
can't use it for
maintenance.
maintenance. So
Mm-mm.
how much did we spend to patch the other pump the first time
in May?
in May?
I'm not clear
It was a lot
how
of
much
money.
it was, but it was quite a bit.
That's what I'm confused by.
That's what I'm confused about. So we patched it and it only lasted 6 months and we don't know how much we spent.
No, I'd have to go back and ask
Can-
Dwayne.
So I think we're all coming to the same conclusion, is we do not have a timeline of history of our expenses with this wastewater system. You know what I mean?
Not at my fingertips.
You know what I mean?
I'd have to put it together.
But you know what I mean? That's kind of where we're at, is that we were doing really bad there for a while, and now we're doing real good, and now the world is ending again.
Well, we just have no pump. And
So
so,
let me ask a question. So why did we just put a new pump in when it failed the first time?
I thought we did.
No, we didn't. We got a quote in June for a new pump. We fixed the old one in May.
So we don't know how much did we spend on that, we don't know. You said you robbed parts off one to.
One to patch it up and fix it. It must not have been that much, though.
I
$3,000
mean,
or $4,000 or something?
It might have been.
So we just took parts off it, so we can't get any more parts off the other pump to fix this one.
In
Right,
fact,
there
what,
is no other pump now.
And the other pump, so that one was, that's the original, that's the original pump.
and it's 32 years old.
Okay, patched up. And you think 3,000 or 4,000 needs spent?
Yes.
I'm trying to remember. I'm not
I'm
sure.
looking, I can't, I don't
Less
see.
than 10?
I'd have to
Yeah.
look back through the
Dwayne, there's
financial.
Dwayne right there. Dwayne,
Oh,
Dwayne has no sound on Zoom. Dwayne, if you want to say
Just text-
something on the
just
chat,
text him, how much did we
Well,
spend?
his microphone's off.
so Dwayne, if you have an answer to their questions, you can put it on the chat
Yeah,
and I'll read it out loud, or just keep texting.
is he texting my phone? I didn't bring my phone.
But you can chat on the Zoom.
Yeah, you can chat on there.
ask, can he hear us or chat? How much
He can
did we-
hear us.
How much we spent?
It's gonna take him a bit to answer that.
Yeah, he's got that all written out from the
Yeah,
spreadsheet for the year.
yeah.
Like other
Who's talking?
institutions.
I didn't think to look up the timeline of expenses. I just know that right now we've got to fix it because we have a truck that's trucking
Oh,
So,
stuff.
it's costing us, I don't know how many hundreds of dollars a day.
oh, so we gotta go ahead.
We're
Okay.
basically, they have us by the,
Yeah, you got
And, yeah.
Well, just go ahead. Anybody want to make a motion?
Well, let's
I mean, we're kind of
Talk
stuck.
about
so
it.
what's the total expense here, Mayor?
I like to
You've
know
got
the
a whole bunch of
expenses
bills.
for free.
Pete is working on getting me a updated quote. Usually when they quote these, it's just for 30 days. So this quote that he has given here is from June.
Oh, I just
See,
forgot.
So it's $17,256.
What's the warranty on the new pump?
Did it say?
There's a link to the terms and conditions.
Yeah, there's terms and conditions.
So let's back up. The failure is caused by foreign substances in the line again.
Yeah,
Is that for the apartments?
towels and
Is
rags.
that for
and-
the apartments?
No, this is the Crockett.
Oh,
This is the Crockett one. Now, I also wanted to tell you that in August, he sent a quote from Alderman for all of the repairs that were needed. And it was very expensive. It was like $110,000. $118,000.
Yeah, but what was the work?
New piping and all kinds of stuff
So how,
that we've never,
well, I'm reading these quotes. You've got one quote, like you showed me earlier, that's $17,000 for the pump.
for the new pumps.
So the 17K for the pump,
and
okay?
you got labor on top of that.
Well, yeah, I understand. And then, but these other ones are for totally different.
Repairing the old pump.
It's $11,000 to repair an old pump, but it's 17 to buy a new one.
So
That
we
doesn't
still- so
include
we still
labor
have-
in the 17,000, that's just the parts? You'd think it would include the labor for that.
Connection, discharge, or before it's $1,300.
That's not the labor. This is just the pump. It's just, this is a quote from Xylem for what a new pump
Who's gonna put,
would
who's
cost.
gonna put the pump in? Pete?
No, you can't do
Pete usually doesn't do it.
Actually, it's not as difficult as you think. It's actually really simple. You know, it is. It really, I've done it. It's not that, it really isn't that complicated. It's
What-
just,
So real quick, did I hear this? That we spent 11,000 to repair the old pump?
well, now you're getting to where I'm getting,
No,
but you're proposing to spend 11,000 to repair the old pump, based
Yes.
on this quote. If in a new one is
based on this
17,000.
quote, but this quote is from a year ago.
Well, I think we're all coming to the same conclusion is why would we propose, excuse me, to spend 11 to 12,000 to repair something when a new one is 17?
What I'm proposing
Okay,
is
thank
to
you.
buy a new pump
Yeah,
and repair the old pump. So that we have two pumps, so that when we have a pump go out, we have another one to get
Okay.
in there.
But I'm agreeing with Mr. McGovern, if it's gonna cost 11,000 to fix the old pump, we'd spend 17 and get two new pumps. You know, get another one for $6,000 more to get a brand new pump, that's a no-brainer to me.
and I think we're on, because I think that's what we did last time and it's only lasted us
Yeah.
This long.
a very short
Because
amount
that
of time.
pump was
If it's-
32 years old.
Well, that's the thing. How old is the one that's in there that you want to repair? If it's already
That's what
25,
I'm
30.
saying, 30.
Well, then you're basically, you're replacing all the innards except for the casing.
Yeah.
I mean, I read this list. This is basically the whole innards. All you're not replacing is the casing.
For 11,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, but still, for me,
I agree with you.
I would go
but-
17, because you wanna get it's like it's buying a rebuilt motor versus a brand new motor. You don't go with a new motor for $6,000 more, that's my opinion.
We did the same thing with.
And you got a warranty.
The fire
You
department.
probably got a better warranty, you got a warranty with it, right?
Yes,
You'd assume you'd have a warranty, I'd say.
yes.
But
So
the
do
quote
we
we
do-
have is 30 though. The quote we currently have is 30.
What we have right now is 17,
Uh-huh.
And 11.
17 for a new one,
Yes.
and then another 11 for the backup. So that gives us to 28, so roughly 30, plus taxes and all the other funky stuff.
Yeah.
And then the labor is going to be something, which I don't think the mayor 100%
I love
has
that.
that.
No,
No.
Labor is going to be
I do
something.
not.
Do we need?
That's a- that's
do
a-
we need
that's a-
backup?
That's a
It's a
accounting phrase.
placeholder,
That's an
yeah.
accounting.
I
phrase.
like the one, installs in minutes. Yes, but how many minutes? Because a certain number of minutes makes an hour and a certain number of hours makes a day.
So Catherine, I guess we need a spare pump, right?
yes,
should
we
get-
really
we should get two
do.
new pumps.
Now, my other question is this quote that he got from Alderman, that's $118,000 for all this other work to bring it all up to what is supposed to be.
Is that to bring it up to what? To bring it up to like, it's in the best shape it can be for its age and purpose? Or is that bring it up to state standards, or is it, you know, what it?
It says
Your-
for the
okay,
scope of work, provide pumping and cleaning of wet well, provide bypass pumping, demo existing piping and pump passes. I don't know how much actually has to be done, but
The Crockett one is the double system, right? That's that
Yes.
double system one, and the one's been collapsed for a long time.
I think
That's what's
that's-
causing this problem, is if when the one collapsed, we don't have a backup to engage the second pump.
So if we got two new ones, kind of like we're kind of toying with the idea, would that mean that we have repaired satisfactorily the one that broke today and the one that's been broken forever?
But there's some plumbing issues, is my understanding, that one side of that system collapsed and they have never fixed that.
Is that the list that she's reading?
I believe that's in this area of thing,
The
yes.
100, whatever?
Yeah, but
Mhm.
I do know that, Pete had gotten other quotes from other people to do that in the past.
Mhm.
I think it's something we obviously need to address before we go into commit to spending X number of dollars on a fence. If we're gonna
Yes.
do this, we might have to rearrange, because we weren't planning on doing any pump work with that grant money.
There was some work I thought at Crockett. I thought
Let's
was a
call-
So
road-
why are we having, why?
Let's
what is the
call-
sense of accomplishing if the pumps don't work?
No, that's at the
A
evaporative.
different
pump.
place.
At the evaporation.
I
plant.
think the pump's a priority over the fence.
That was that $250,000 quote for the fence.
We might have to that's why I'm saying, long term, I think we're gonna have to we'll want to readdress how we spend all this money.
Yeah.
But the purpose of this meeting is just to get the sewer system working.
Okay.
Because we're paying I don't even know how much a day.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's hundreds a day.
So can we just concentrate on getting a pump and then go from, yes, have it two-phase?
This is,
Although if you're gonna get one. you
Pete's
might
having
get both.
trouble signing in, he said.
And the money may come from the capital improvement, perhaps.
Yeah, it's,
You'll mention where it's coming from.
Yeah, would you tell us that first?
okay, let me call Thomas.
I wonder if he could send email
Because
a copy of that quote for the grant and just see what's being done on project.
I think Mr. McGovern, you're on the same page I am.
Hi, Thomas. So there's some questions about the grant and what the grant covers and why it's not covering something like this pump. Okay, so I've got Thomas Turk on the line.
Hi, Thomas Turner.
Hello, everyone. How's everybody doing?
Very good, very good.
knee deep and you know what?
So the question about the grant, what it covers, with regards to the pump in the lift station, the replacement of a pump is considered maintenance
Yes.
and is not funding under the grant.
Is there any way we could rephrase it like upgrade or something? Instead of a maintenance, call it an upgrade.
Well, what can I,
I don't think so. That would be, I don't believe that would be appropriate.
Now, out at the treatment plant, doesn't it cover some maintenance of the pump out there?
yes, the irrigation pump, 15,000.
Irrigation pump out at the treatment plant is covered. So what we're trying to decide is, instead of repairing a 32-year-old pump, would it be better to just buy 2 new pumps?
Well, I think the pump that's gone out can be economically repaired. We're yet to see that in the new quote.
But we just did that with the pump that's in there and it failed literally 5 months later.
And it's $11,000, right?
Well, I don't know, I can't,
Oh, because
Dwayne, I'd have to
Did
ask.
Dwayne ever get back with us?
Yeah, if that's true, I didn't know that.
Is Dwayne,
But would it be better to buy 2 new pumps? Well, of course, if you can afford it.
can you call Dwayne? Just call.
I'm asking if I can call him.
Yeah, we were trying to figure out what it's gonna cost to fix the one pump, and from what Pete sent us, it looks like it would be 11 or 12,000 to fix a pump and 17,000 to buy a brand new pump.
With a warranty.
Yeah, with a warranty.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, well, if you have the funding, I'd go ahead and get a couple of new pumps. That'd be great.
Are these the same pumps that would be used at the other lift stations? Are they all the same?
I do not believe so. The Crockett Street lift station is your main lift station. Everything you have flows to that point and then on to the
He's doing.
treatment plant. The other 2 lift
Give us 1
stations
second.
are smaller and don't quite pump as much
Yeah.
or with as much head. So they are different.
So council is wanting to know, how much have we spent on the Crockett? pump
So if
station?
this was an improved pump and not a replacement pump, it would qualify for the grant.
Mhm.
But because it's a maintenance issue, because we're putting the same pump in there, it doesn't qualify.
What about an upgrade?
we don't break our system down. My understanding, yes.
So if we were to upgrade the pump there, does it then fall inside the qualification for the grant?
It might, but what, I would, as your engineer, I would have trouble truthfully justifying that upgrade.
Yeah, yeah. I'm with you, Mr. Turks.
And, you would have to have a pump that pumps more sewage at a higher head and require a different pump, and I can't justify that.
So, Thomas, are you familiar with an email that Pete sent in August. It was August 26th. And it was from Alderman. And he was quoting to fix everything that needed to be fixed with the Crockett lift station, but it was $118,000.
I'm not familiar with that email.
I'll have to send that to you later. So, okay, so we were just wondering about that. So,
Thank you, Tom.
did you have any more
You're-
questions?
Any other
I think we can
questions?
let you go, Dwayne.
I don't think so.
I'll let you know if they have any further.
No,
questions.
keep
Alright.
it.
Dwayne said it's not.
Oh,
Okay, thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
What did we? what did
No,
we-
the question we had for Dwayne was, how much did we spend to
he says
repair?
we don't itemize by lift stations.
God. That's lame.
I'd have to go back and find the,
That is so lame.
That's what I think was suggesting was that we need to have a summary report of what we've done in service. For the wastewater plant.
We spend on.
Yeah, we gotta know how much money, how can we make a decision if we don't have the figures?
Well,
Can we get a ballpark figure? What about Pete? Does
Okay,
Pete
wait, let me ask you a question. That question that you just raised was very smart. And under normal circumstances, that's exactly what I would want to know to make the decision. However, in this situation, where right now we have nothing working,
Yeah, we're kind of.
Yeah, I think that was the
maybe
only
we,
question.
maybe it's not as important as it
I'll
normally
find out if another
would
one
be.
comes up.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
what I would suggest is let's approve the
Yeah.
purchase of one pump with the repair.
Yeah, get
and
our
then
information.
Get this on the agenda
Exactly.
with the proper reporting, and then maybe the recommendation is we buy another backup pump for Crockett. But obviously, I would hope that this grant that
Yes.
is going to improve that flow issue, the collapsed part of the Crockett lift station, I believe is included in that. I can't tell by reading it, but I believe it's included. I'm looking at it.
Wait a minute, you can't, maybe I didn't hear you correctly. You can't tell from reading the grant.
I can't tell by what the report was provided by Tom,
Uh-huh.
whether that is including the repair at the Crockett lift station or not. I don't
there
know.
are repairs that are being done at the Crockett lift station.
Yeah, I have it, but he doesn't. There's a lift station regenerator and transfer switch replacement and surge protection upgrade, that's $70,000. Irrigation pump motor replacement is 15. There's a propane tank and chain link fence, watering, valves, $3,000 or $4,000. I mean, the preponderant of this,
So you're that should be a question. Are you looking at the budget from the grant? You're not
Yes.
looking at the narrative of the grant?
I'm looking at the budget of the.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay,
why I only
that makes
have,
sense.
what,
Right.
but there is very little maintenance, or repair to, I don't see any repair to the Crockett lift station.
Gotcha,
So
I don't see that. All I see is we're putting a fence for $240,000
okay.
is half the budget of that fence.
you've done grant writing. Is Turk a grant writer? Does he, do we get another opinion that could be considered an upgrade?
Well, I mean, the grant's already been approved and we're ready to go to work.
What I'm saying is,
We're done.
but is there somebody else we could talk to say, is that legal? What he's saying is he feels uncomfortable
Right,
saying, and I asked, is it an upgrade?
right.
And I'm not a grant writer, but I'm saying is an upgrade could be.
Well, he said the reason that he couldn't justify an upgrade was because he'd have to show that there's increased flow in order to justify an upgrade. That's what he was saying.
That's the scope of the grant.
So he's
not a grant
working
writer.
within,
He's on a grant.
no, but he's working within the scope of the grant, so the grant doesn't justify an upgrade because we don't have
It's like-
increased
it's like-
flow.
Partners, it's like attorneys. They all have a different opinion, your
I know.
defense or a prosecutor. I've been to discussion with attorneys before. It's how they interpret the grant. Can Langford assist us on this? I mean.
No, because the engineers were working inside the grant, and that's why I put out that information to y'all.
It just seems like an awfully shame for us if we could find some way, I mean, we gotta be legal
Yeah,
and upfront, but I mean, for me, for example, a fence, $100,000 fence.
No.
Whatever it was.
$247,000.
Fence that we could patch up or make it less, and then we got a pump that we could say, is it an upgrade? You know, could it be considered upgrade? I mean, that's his.
I mean, I understand what you're saying,
That's his.
but we have to work within the bounds of the grant.
That's his opinion.
But it isn't because, where that would come in would be, for example, if that grant had been provided with indirect costs. That's a way that you can put extra money into it that goes into the city and the city can use it how it deems appropriate. But if it wasn't part of the budget to do that, you can't now turn around and say, we're gonna also upgrade these things, because what they did was they had all their people read the budget and read the narrative that justified, this is why we're asking for a
For
budget
this
that looks like
money.
this.
Can we do an inquiry saying, ask the question to the people, say, look, I mean, nothing against Turk, he's an engineer, saying, could we consider upgrade or replace or pump part of our grant, and just ask the question?
He said no.
No,
Well,
not him.
Mike,
We got
okay.
the grant.
But who
But that-
would you ask?
That's not to be, I'm just saying, I'm not saying that, you wanna go down that rabbit hole and work it, absolutely, but that doesn't, we need to solve the problem
Okay,
today.
leave the pump,
Let's.
So
let's-
basically, I just need an
Yeah, let's do
okay
let's do that.
to repair. See, the pump is just gonna be part of it. We have a truck now
Okay,
until
let's
we
get the
can get
pump. Let's get one pump. Let's
okay.
get one pump right now.
But
But
right
what
now,
about-
we're gonna have to pay for the truck
Yeah.
that's hauling
Okay.
the
Okay, go ahead.
stuff,
Agree, we need
and
the
then
pump.
whatever
We're
expenses
going
there
off
are.
Tangents here.
Yeah,
Let's get into
whatever
stuff later.
expenses there are to
We'll-
install the pump.
We'll address where it comes out of the budget later.
Okay,
Well,
good.
I did
Make a
ask
motion.
Dwayne, and he said it could come out of the CIP
Does he have,
instead of emergency funds.
yeah, but,
Well, again, we could decide that later.
yeah, you're right.
Once we have all the
You're right.
information
I agree.
and
I
everyone's here
agree.
in
Let's
person
let's get the
and we have
pump.
time to absorb the information and get a good report from everybody who's not
Yeah,
here.
I totally agree.
Right now, the mayor needs $17,000 plus the dumping fee and whatever
Make the
the labor is.
Yeah, it could be up to 25,000.
Make the motion.
But wait, let me ask something though. You said that quote in June for 17 is only good for a month. So we don't know how much.
Yeah,
it's gonna
I
cost.
asked Pete, can you get me a new quote by 4, and he wasn't able to.
Okay,
It's
well,
gonna be, it's gonna be, it's not gonna
It
be,
should be
it
a
should
whole
be
lot
close.
more.
It
I
should be
agree with
close.
Mr. McGovern. We need to go ahead. It needs to be
Can
done.
you just, can we do it as a motion that? we-
Not more than $25,000.
Sure.
Go for it.
Out of the CIP.
Out of
Or
CIP.
are we saying we're not even gonna say?
No,
where it's
no,
coming
no.
from?
We don't say.
We'll say.
We don't say.
We don't have to.
We don't have to say, that's a budgetary thing.
I'm just telling you that just to
Yeah.
ease your mind.
Yeah.
And I will say, Pete has sent us these things, like this 118,000, and I go, "Ooh." And we need to start paying attention to this as staff and start bringing this. He also last fall, and he mentioned it in one of his reports or earlier this year, he had gotten a quote for cleaning out the pipes in the city.
Mhm.
And we didn't follow through on that one either. I was looking for that email. And we just need to, on this maintenance stuff, really start following through.
Gotcha.
And so when we got this email that it was gonna be this much money, we should have brought it to the city council at the very next city council and said, okay,
Alright.
what do we wanna do about this? Because
Okay.
we have to have a pump. And this is another reason why, we're looking into trying to build a new sewer treatment plant
Okay.
instead of
Okay.
this old one that,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna have the problem with the lines and
You're right,
everything
you're right.
else.
It's old line. Okay.
I did think though that the Martindale Apartments did go directly over to the Crockett lift station.
I think you're right.
Yeah, because you had mentioned before that what they do over there doesn't affect the Crockett station, but it does.
But it does.
But it has to get past that pump first,
Yeah,
and it wouldn't have gotten past that pump. There's a lift there
Right,
with a macerator on it.
like a grinder pump.
Yes, they're all that way.
Uh,
They're all that way. Every time they comes into a tank, it's basically a big pump with a macerator on the bottom, and it shoots it through the top through a
Mhm.
PVC pipe,
mm,
and then starts up the next gravity run. And in this case, you could see the depth of this quote. It's a 50-foot long cable, a power cable, so it could be submerged up to 50 feet.
Yeah.
But we have to do, I do agree, we have to get a pump, so go ahead.
Yeah, this is, the pump like I have at my house is in a 50-gallon tank, and I think it's a 1 horsepower, but it doesn't obviously have the voltage. It's a 110, it was $1,700. This one's 17,000 because it handles obviously an infinite amount more material, and it's going off all the time. Mine's going off 3-4 times a day.
Is there any way we could, did it fail because of debris or it fell because of old age or both?
both.
Is there any way to do a little investigation and see what material's in there?
Well,
All of
he did say towels and rags,
Son of a biscuit.
towels and rags.
And
So we have someone sabotaging the wastewater plant.
is there any way we can?
How are they getting this freaking towel?
I don't know, but if you work in a prison, apparently they send sheets and stuff down there and trying to flood the prison on purpose. Aren't you glad we don't live there?
So if we had towels,
For a multitude of
have they
reasons.
flushed towels at the apartments? Have they flushed towels before? Or just the baby wipe thing?
I don't
We'd have to
know.
ask Steve,
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
over
we
there.
have
That
to-
wouldn't have made it to
It wouldn't
Crockett.
have made there.
It wouldn't have made it Crockett.
because it wouldn't have made it through the grinder.
It would have made it, yeah, it would have made it past that lift station. It goes up and comes down. That's the one we kept fixing. That's the one we were spending all that money 2 years ago, was that one.
And I think I asked this question to Pete before, there's no way to put a screen.
I think they have some screens, but stuff just gets passed.
Don't forget.
And
to
I
put
know
a-
when we
Especially
went to
for
San
that high
Marcos,
maintenance.
What?
remember when we
When
went to
things are
San
gonna get
Marcos?
passed.
Yeah,
They have screens and stuff and still,
well,
stuff still got passed.
we gotta find out how they do some kind of investigative report.
Someone is sabotaging
Yeah.
the
To
sewer system.
find a way.
That simple as that,
Let's do some fingerprinting.
on the sewage.
There's gotta be.
You know you're being recorded on that. I've got that for later.
Let's think about
Okay.
Just recover, go ahead.
No one's listening, I don't think that's.
Okay, if I could have a motion, please.
All right, can I get I'll make a motion to approve expenditure up to $25,000 for the repair of the lift station pump on Crockett Street.
I'll second that if I'm allowed to on Zoom.
Boy, you're quick, Terry.
Oh, thank you, Terry.
You're welcome.
You're the
Okay, we
second.
have a motion and a second. All in favor, please say
Wait, I
aye.
did, I have one.
Oh, I'm
Wait,
sorry.
We don't have anything. We'll have some discussion from.
Yeah, no, I just,
Come
no,
on.
I
Don't try
just,
to rush it.
I'm a discussion man. Okay, so we still need to get a quote. We don't know how long it's gonna take for them to fix it. So we're saying that for the duration of time, until we either get the quote and get the work started, it could take a week or two, so we.
He said 3 to 5 days. Once I sign this, if I sign this and get this to Pete and he gets it ordered.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so today is Wednesday.
Comes out of San Antonio? Where's it come out of? Doesn't say. They have an office in San Antonio, but
I'm just curious of the time frame of how much we estimate, how much more time we'll have to spend to have the truck tanks the stuff off.
it's 3 days of delivery from the quote.
So you could she can call Pete today and say.
We're done. That's right.
No, we did not vote yet.
Oh, I thought we said yay.
No, we had
No,
discussion.
I had
No, we had
one last
discussion.
question about the time frame, and then you'll call Pete today, then, right?
I'll sign this as soon as we leave and get this to him so that he can get it to Xylem.
That's all. the
So it'll ship out
discussion we had.
tomorrow. All right, so
Hopefully, yeah. unless, I don't see that the quote would be a whole lot higher. He'll let me know.
Yay.
Okay, so any more discussion?
No.
Sorry,
Okay.
Sam, I did, sorry.
All in
No, it's fine.
favor?
I just, aye.
Please say aye.
Aye.
I,
Aye.
Okay, and I hear no nays, so the motion carries.
And we'll
And
have further discussions about the other issues, money.
The financing.
so we can't bring it up tomorrow night because it's not on the
Give
agenda.
everybody time to give us exact cost, when it happened.
I can make an announcement of what the exact cost.
and
I should
also
have it by tomorrow.
Warranty for new versus the old, blah, blah, blah.
I have one more question before we adjourn though, too.
Okay,
I want to see about putting this as an agenda item because Matthew and I in the city and all of us have spoken about this. We need to figure out about Gonzalez Street. About who owns Verizon, what does Carlton own? Where does the road go? Where does the old road go? We need to figure this all out.
I'm doing some research myself, as you
Okay,
know.
so maybe by the third week of November,
That
we could
was
speak about it.
Sam, why do we need to figure it out?
Because it's a parking lot for duets. We had someone get towed away. We don't exactly know what Carlton owns. We don't know where the
why
Verizon.
isn't it just what the tax assessor office says?
It's not because the road,
That's the deed.
it,
If it's
If you
the
read
deed, it's
it-
what they
it-
own.
it's complicated.
It's
So,
complicated.
Yeah,
I
it is.
thought
There is.
The road is not
straight.
straight. The road is supposed to be straight.
Right.
The road is actually going over Frontier's property.
Correct.
Right?
And right now, there is nothing on the books that I've found so far that there is an easement or right of way through that property.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a convoluted mess.
So the chief of police is talking about not, stopping Gonzalez, not making it a through street at Crockett.
Mm-hmm.
If we did that and we didn't make Austin Street a through street, then that would become a parking lot. But
But we don't
It's-
know
we
yet if
can't
we can
put-
even do that because we don't know who owns what yet. So we can't really, we can go by the advice of what the chief of police is suggesting, but until we actually know what does Carlton own? What does Verizon own? What does Frontier own? Is that old Crockett
But
Street a
that-
street?
But as of today, it follows the deed. So even if the road is crooked or whatnot, it still follows wherever the survey says his property ends and wherever the survey says that the telephone company ends.
We've never
Yeah.
seen a survey. We've never seen a
But
deed.
you can
Yeah.
look online and see.
It's
Mike,
not 100%
Mike,
accurate on
what-
that.
I was involved with that discussion when we were determining what street to give, either repave Gonzalez Street or repave Lockhart Street. There's information back in, I think that was when Devaney was the mayor, there was discussions about the cost of redoing, and Turk was involved with that. The
Mhm.
cost of redoing Gonzalez Street, and part of that cost was moving that utility pole
yeah,
to line up with that existing road.
yeah,
There's information in there at
Yeah.
that time frame. There's a bunch of information.
But what concerns me about that, if we decide to do that, then that's gonna do away with that parking lot that is currently being used by duets and other people. And so,
well, we can, Sam, it's not on the agenda, so
no,
we
I'm
can put
saying
it
in
on
the
future
future, I
items.
want it to be a future
But
item.
I don't
That's all
wanna
I'm saying.
get
That's
too
all.
There's
long.
information in the past.
I'll make a motion that we adjourn at 4:47.
Thank you.